Big Blue Thumb Productions presents the Podley Podcast. Here's your hosts, Podley Bill, Podley Cliff, and Podley Paul.
Here we are. It is Epi 157.
Hey, Bill.
Hey,
Excuse me, Phil and I, Cliff and I are talking.
You call him Phil. You just call him Phil like I did off air.
Hey, are we on?
Yeah,
Everybody's flies are up.
Everybody's flies up.
Okay.
Marvin, you were in early, 3,500 points. Hi to you. And Laura in at second, 2,500.
Laura me!
Yes, I've heard Larkin Poe.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
Really?
they are.
Okay. Okay.
And that's PoE. And that's not power over Ethernet.
Nope.
That is PoE.
Hey, excuse us. Cliff and I were talking. Give us a second here, dudes.
And what I was talking about was a sister duo named Larkin Poe. If you don't know who they are, well, first of all, you can go to my Facebook page, and I've actually saved a couple in my inspiration, music, and movement list, which a lot of people have seen. However, if you just Google Larkin Poe, Larkinpoe, they're an amazing sister duo. They deserve your attention.
Yeah, the reason we got on that topic is Paul and I just did our Bill and Paul show on Sound Sugar Radio here tonight, and I introduced them to a band which I have really started to enjoy, and they're called The Warning. I've actually been following them for the past probably 3 years since they came out with their first album in 2018. Three sisters out of Mexico. I think the oldest, Daniela, is the lead guitar player. She's like 23, 24. Her sister, who's the drummer, is like 22. The bass player just turned
Nice.
18. But now they're opening.
Awesome.
They're opening for
That's
Guns N'
awesome.
Roses. They're opening for all these big bands. They just did
Okay,
a big
well, I won't
tour.
blame them for opening for Guns N' Roses. I mean, that's okay, I suppose, if you want to open for those idiots. That's okay.
And they've just did their own tour now that has been sold out across Europe and the US, playing medium, large
Wow.
size
Hey,
venues.
that's fantastic.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's like Silverchair-esque, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
It's
watching these audiences singing word for word to their songs,
That's
and they're playing
Hey,
all
young
originals.
people like that, that's fantastic.
I know, right?
And it all started because when they were like really young, they put out a video of playing a cover of Inner Sandman by Metallica.
Oh, but
And the
Metallica.
bass player at that time, her name is Daniela. Alexandra.
Hmm.
And the bass was like 3 times bigger than she was. She was like 8 years old or something. And they played it just note for note, word for word. It sounded perfect and got millions and millions of views. And then they just started growing as sisters. They were playing shows and playing covers. And now they do all originals. And they've got like 2 albums out, maybe 3 now.
That's crazy.
And they've gone from here and they're like,
And a young bass player. That's funny. I actually follow on, is it Instagram or Facebook? I don't know. She's this little girl. I don't know how old she is. The bass is like
Well, I've
6
seen
times
her.
the size of her.
yeah. I've
And
seen
her dad is her coach.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because he even got a video on YouTube of him coaching her on this
Mm.
one particular part of the bass.
Mhm.
And he's a really cool guy. Like, he's a really neat
Yeah.
guy. And you watch him coaching his daughter. He's patient, and his daughter wants to play,
Mhm.
and he's patient and everything else. It's really cool.
Mm.
But this little girl, every time she plays something, she goes, okay, this is a song by so-and-so group, and the bass player's name is
Yeah, I've seen
so-and-so,
her.
and this is from the year so-and-so, and yada, yada,
Wow.
and then she goes and plays it, and her dad is doing the coaching.
That's
He's
cool.
the one that's doing most of the filming, right? Her dad's doing most of the filming, so he's coaching her to make sure that she knows not only how to play these songs, but she knows who these people are.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's-
the history of music.
It's so fun, and she's
Yeah.
so good. Oh my
That's what I
god!
did with my kids on one of our radio shows. I want them to know the history. I
Yeah,
want
so-
them to know the past
Yeah.
of bands.
You should introduce your kids to this kid because
Well-
she's got to be maybe 11 now. But
Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
I've been watching her for about 3 years now.
There's another young girl out of England.
Mm.
And you can follow her. I subscribe to her YouTube channel. I'm not sure how old she is now. Maybe 12. Maybe I don't know. She's 13. Maybe 13.
Mhm.
She's a drummer, but she plays all instruments.
That's not
Same
that's
thing. Her
not
dad.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Her name is Nikki. I can't remember the last name. So anyway, she challenged Dave Grohl to a drum off.
Yeah, that's Bushnell. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bushnell is her last name.
Nikki Bushnell. Yeah.
Bushnell.
Oh, I know. I've seen
Yeah,
her.
so-
I've seen her.
So since that point, she's just grown. She actually played on stage with the Foo Fighters. She
Yeah.
did one of their concerts. She played one of the drums on one of the songs with them. But she
Crazy.
plays guitar. She plays bass. So she does these YouTube videos where she plays all the instruments
Yeah.
of the whole cover song.
Let
Yeah.
me tell you, these little bastards, man, so much talent.
Right,
eh?
right.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Hey, did you
If
see
I,
my,
if I didn't love them so much, I would be
you
jealous.
see my hoodie?
Paste. Oh, you don't. I don't know what you.
Feisty.
Feisty. They make great. They make great symbols.
Feisty.
Yeah.
I love those symbols.
Yeah. Feisty.
I told him he had a nice symbol on his coat.
I got a nice symbol.
That's
Thank
a,
you.
that's a rather lovely symbol then.
I got a symbol of
Yeah.
the symbols.
And there's a Russian girl. I think she's Russian, or maybe she's not in a hurry. I don't know.
I was
but-
gonna say how much of a hurry is she?
but her name is Sina, Sina, Googly Woogly her
Mhm.
on the drums.
Mhm.
She'll blow your mind.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
she does a cover. She does a cover of Tom Sawyer.
Oh, Rush.
That
No,
will just slay you, like unbelievable. And this girl she says there was like no effort at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Doesn't even come close to breaking a sweat.
no, just no, and like no issue.
Foster your hobbies, boys and girls. Foster your hobbies. I know Marv does.
Oh man, these young people, man, they're so
Well,
impressive. you know?
Laura does.
And now it's
With
even,
singing.
now the learning is exponential for these young kids. Right?
You're
I mean, I
darn
didn't
right.
have YouTube when I was growing up.
Yep.
If I wanted to learn a
Yeah,
Paul
we didn't
Simon
have
song,
YouTube.
if I wanted to
Yep.
learn a Paul Simon song, I had to
Listen to
put the record on,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then I would have to sit there with the needle and
Yeah.
go deedly deedly deedly. Oh, lift. How does that go? Deedly. No, put it back down again. Play
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
It was an arduous task. Now you can go to YouTube and find anything. Somebody's going to be on
They're
there
gonna
teaching
teach
you.
you. Yeah. Whereas,
Yep.
Yeah. You think of all
Right.
the master guitar players
I know.
from back in those days that are humongous guitar players now,
Yep.
playing in bands, whatever, that started sitting in their bedroom, listening to the album, and basically wearing that album out,
Wearing the album
trying
out.
to figure out
Crazy.
how to play those.
It's
those
crazy.
songs, right?
It's crazy. So downstairs, we're downstairs before the show. We're downstairs, and Bill has a gitter, and Cliff takes up the gitter downstairs 10 minutes ago. Damn, dude, you can play. Can I throw you a little bit of
A
sunshine?
little bit of sunshine.
Damn, dude, you can play.
Thanks, friend.
Whoa.
I feel tanned. I feel since Paulie threw me some sunshine.
Wow,
I feel tanned.
dude.
Well,
Like,
thanks, Paulie.
you can play.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. And I love it. Just the
So-
acoustic guitar is just,
Yeah.
it's heaven in my ears.
A
It's
little
heaven.
pre-show concert. And Paul, you mentioned
Thanks,
it
Paulie.
a couple minutes ago, following your hobbies. Well, we kind of did that last week. We were on the golf course last Monday night, and
The wax shoot course
some
for
of us,
me.
yeah. So we were on the golf course, and then some of us, I had to play in 2 golf tournaments last week, and you were playing
Yeah.
the day after. So
Except he had to play in the golf tournament, and he went way past us hacks. What did you do in the first 9 holes? You said
well, with our team, the way we were all playing, we were like 4 under at the end of 9 holes.
this guy's like he's going to be on the pro-am tour by next year.
But the back 9, it was we felt.
Yeah, we don't count that.
we don't
You
count
are
that.
no longer my friend if you become a scratch golfer. I'm telling you that right now.
I was getting itchy
If
because it's
you
kind of
come,
humid out.
if you're a scratch
mean
golfer,
scratch.
you are no longer my friend.
So,
Jeez.
but anyway, yeah, we've been playing golf now on a pretty regular basis as well, the 3 of us, and then
And we're going
Last-
on. And we're going tomorrow.
and we're going Wednesday night. Cliff and I are going out, and it's just just happened to be. I had 2 company golf tournaments, one in Edmonton and one in Calgary last week, so it was like golf
Lucky man.
all week long.
I just talked to my boss, even though
right?
You were all playing. You wouldn't play a round of.
but I did play with him. And tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., I'm meeting him and 2 on 6 a.m. on the back 9 of Victoria.
Wow.
My favorite course. My favorite city course.
I love
Victoria.
Victoria.
Love
man. I
it.
love it. Beautiful course.
Yeah.
And on Friday, the other city course that I love tremendously muchly, whatever the word is,
Mm.
at is Riverside.
Yeah.
I love Riverside. I've played Riverside.
That's the other city
Long
course.
time.
Well,
yeah.
So tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
I'm at Victoria on the back 9 with my boss and two
Yeah.
of his friends.
Yep.
And then on Friday at 11 o'clock, 18 holes Riverside.
I like Riverside. I love River Ridge. River Ridge is a good course. Beautiful
I
course.
haven't played
Good
that.
course.
And when you talk about Riverside, actually, so not this last week, but the week before, I had the opportunity to finally go on the river boat.
Oh,
did you?
that's right. How
and
was
did
that?
and did a river
I saw
Nice.
pictures. It was awesome. Yeah, I saw
We-
pictures.
It was a blast. We
Yeah.
had a great time. It was put on by Alexis of Edmonton. He
Mhm.
invited us to come along, and my wife and I, and we had a great time. It was a beautiful night, no
Mhm.
wind. The
Nice.
sun was out. There was a ton of kayakers on the river and
Mhm,
power boats and
Nice.
sea-doos, and
mhm.
it's about an hour and a half ride there and back from dock and back.
Nice.
And it
Is
was
it
great.
that long?
Yeah.
Well, how far do you go?
I'm trying to remember now. I think we went up to is it the Walterdale Bridge? That was the big new bridge that was
Yeah,
built?
Walterdale.
Yeah, that's
So I
Walterdale.
think we went up
Yeah.
to there, and then you turn around and head back. But it's not fast moving. Like the boat's not.
No. But
It's a paddle boat. Right?
you're not going 3 kilometers.
So no.
Like, how far are you going?
I don't know the exact distance, but the whole total thing was about an hour and a half on the
Okay.
boat.
Hmm.
And it was great.
I don't think it was that
It was
long.
great. You had some great snacks. They had open bar for us.
It's my
so,
favorite kind of bar.
get to have some, drinks and just enjoy the city from the river valley.
Nice.
So when you talked about Riverside Golf Course and then seeing it from actually down on the river and
Mhm.
looking up and seeing everything,
Mhm.
it was fun.
Oh,
Definitely,
beautiful, man.
definitely
Mhm.
fun.
Riverside. Yeah.
Leslie Ann says Cliff is my favorite musician: guitar, singing, drums, even a little piano and saxophone.
Look at that.
Do you saxophone? Shut the front door.
Just a smidge. Only a smidge.
Do you, play
Alto?
do you do the bagpipes too?
No.
Alto sax?
Our neighbor. does.
Yes.
Dude.
So our neighbor, who's he doesn't Andrew, you've met Andrew, and he's going to be playing golf with us, but he plays the bagpipes, and I didn't realize this.
Oh.
We had gone to the Highland Gathering,
Yep.
and we ran into Paul. So my
Yep.
wife and I, Chai, went to Highland Gathering when it was in Sherwood Park on the Sunday. We got there, we ran into Paul and his kids, and
That's the one on Broadmoor Lake.
right.
Yep.
So that's
That's
the same park that
Yeah,
we're.
Leslie and I were there.
Oh, did you go to the Highland Gathering as well
Yeah.
on Sunday?
You go on Sunday?
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
there.
well, we didn't
I
see.
was
We
there.
were there.
I was there with my kids separately, and he was there with Chai.
That's
We
crazy.
were wandering around, and but anyway, we came home that night, and all of a sudden I'm outside,
Bagpipes.
and I'm hearing bagpipes playing. Who's playing bagpipes? I realized it's coming from over at Andrew's place. So we sent them a message, and his wife Megan were back. Yeah, that's Andrew. He and his brother outside playing.
Playing
They were playing
bagpipes.
Amazing Grace, and it
Love
was
it.
amazing. Like he was just
That's one of my
playing-
favorite things to ever hear on the bagpipes. Is amazing.
playing
Love it.
away. So maybe I should get him to bring his bagpipes to the golf course.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He can,
If
he
we
can
get a
pipe us
bird-
on.
If we get a
Love
bird,
it.
you get a bird, you can have some.
Love it.
Amazing Grace on the bagpipes is something to behold.
Love it.
Wow. Yeah. So that was amazing for sure.
I still got the boxer in my head, buddy.
The boxer.
I still got the boxer in my head
Oh,
from downstairs.
Yeah, we were just downstairs, and Chai has a Yamaha guitar. It's a beautiful guitar. So I was just playing a little bit, telling these people that they should do a little bit of singing.
Yeah. No, we'll definitely have to do that. We talked a little bit about our week last week, so I didn't really say. So otherwise, how was your week last week there?
Busy.
Busy.
Oh, did a film shoot. I was just background,
Yeah.
but did it at Fort Edmonton Park.
Oh, nice.
So cool, man! I haven't been to Fort Edmonton Park since grade school.
Yeah.
That place is cool.
You know, I've done only about maybe 3 or 4 short films in my whole life.
Yep.
And one of them was at Fort Edmonton Park.
So nice. I got
Yeah.
to. I was, a 1930s guy going to work
That's
on the
awesome.
trolley. But I mean, you know how it
Love that
goes.
place.
You know how
Love
it
that
goes.
place.
Okay, so for those of you who are not in theater so much, but in
film.
film, it was a 13-hour shoot, starting at 5:30 at night after 8 hours at work.
Welcome to the world of film.
And I sat and waited for 11 hours and worked for 2.
That's the way it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it is.
China did we're in
But it was great.
in an Anne Vereen music video that was shot at the Fort.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I shot a movie. This is back in 2005, I believe. It was a show called what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, it was a dream sequence where I played Clint Eastwood. So I'm dreaming I'm Clint Eastwood, and of course I got the sideburns and the hat, walking around with a gunslinger, all that type of stuff. It's pretty funny actually. It's not meant to be cool. It's meant to be funny.
Funny.
It's called Break Out of the Masala Kid.
Mhm.
It's on YouTube.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I got it's hilarious actually. Because I'm just in an overcoat. I got the guns, and then I got a shootout with my daughter. But yeah,
So
Fort
it's-
Edmonton Park. But that's a great place to shoot.
So instead of Unforgiven, I'd be forgiven for watching it. I'd be forgiven for watching it, or what?
And you were showing off your guns.
Showing off the guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
And hey man, what's great about it? Sorry, just sidetrack here. I actually got out and have a friend Paul, who's a gun expert, and we all thought I was gonna actually take the gun and shoot blanks.
Yep.
So I needed to be trained. So he took me out to the gun range. Oh man, I could shoot on 18, circa 18 something called 45, and all that type of stuff. And he ran me through all these pistols and stuff.
What's the recoil?
Dude, it was
What's the
crazy.
recoil?
I didn't even
On a
know
Colt, what's like-
the recoil is crazy.
Wow.
So after you picked yourself up off the floor.
Yeah, no
Right,
kidding.
that's
But
exactly
he took
right.
me out. He took me out. He actually had to have a police. He had to lay the path, tell the police what path he was going to take
Yeah.
to get to the gun range.
Yeah.
And all locked up and all very.
Mhm.
I was like, this is real movie stuff.
Oh yeah, baby. They're not. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
in the end, though,
Oh,
the
yeah.
end, I never got to pull it. I can't remember why. There was a whole bunch of shenanigans.
Mhm.
But anyway, so I never did. But what an experience that was, like to be able to have a day at a look at all these things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
Anyway, sorry that was off topic.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I did a film like that way back, quite a few years back, actually. We had a gun. I had a gun that I had to carry and use on set. So we had our gun marshal or
Marshall,
whatever,
yeah.
who was on set with us all the time and always held the gun until I had to carry
Until
it.
you had to carry, yeah.
Yep.
Went
And
over
they
everything. And,
open it up to make sure that it's
which is not exactly what
empty
happened
and-
to Alec Baldwin,
Well,
but
yeah.
So
And my friend Paul, she was so nice, because he's like just knows so much about it. Such a talented fellow when it comes to that stuff. And he took the time to take me out to the range and show me all the guns and let me fire them. And so like it was what an experience. And that's why I envy actors, because they get to learn something new at every film,
single day.
right? And I just love
Love
that,
it.
right? You look at Keanu Reeves, he goes on set, he knows of Matrix, he knows nothing about martial arts. And but all of a sudden he goes into 6-8 month just intense training.
Love it.
Right. And I think that's why I envy, in the nicest way, I envy actors, is because they get to do these things and then move on to the next project. Then they learn something new. Then move on to the next
Okay.
project.
So Tom Cruise, by virtue of his Top Gun
His stature,
and his
yeah.
Mission Impossible, he can legitimately fly jet
he has
airplanes.
his license.
He's got his jet
And
airplane
He also has
license.
he got his
Heli-
helicopter
He's got his
license as well.
helicopter license. Like
And-
that's sick.
And here we were all impressed in Top Gun when he wrote
Yeah.
the ninja.
That was
Well,
sick.
And he does all of his own stunts.
Yeah.
And he refuses to do anything on green screen. He will not
Yeah.
shoot any film, whether it be
That's
whether it be the
commitment.
new Top Gun
That's
or,
commitment.
or the Mission Impossible films.
No, man. That's
No
right.
green screen. He will
There's a
do
lot of
all
respect for Cruise.
of the stuff.
I don't know if that's foolhardy or hardcore commitment, but
I
respect,
think
respect.
it's about being
respect.
authentic.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think it's a little
Yeah,
bit of
I think
both.
I think it's being authentic. Like I've watched a lot of the behind the scenes. I have all the Mission Impossible films, obviously not the new one, which I haven't seen yet. But it's watching the work that they do and the planning that they do on these stunts, like in the last one with the helicopter stunts and flying that they did, and him hanging off airplanes, and he does all of that. It's him hanging there off these planes.
Yeah.
He does a stunt in the new movie where he's on a motorcycle that goes off a cliff.
And he actually does it. I know. I saw that clip.
He does it.
I saw the clip.
That
Yeah.
is
Because
him.
I
He's
saw
got he's done like over I think it's close to like 1,000 skydiving jumps
Yeah.
from all different heights.
Yeah.
From
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched that clip. It's like, okay, and then everybody's watching from behind the camera and everything else, waiting for the parachute to pop, right?
Yeah.
When I was in China, I did touring, whatever. I can't remember the name of the town, but I actually, I don't know, Mission Impossible 3, Mission Impossible 4, whatever. I actually walked down the boardwalk that he was in a thing in, and there's big, things of him actually, like just placards of him doing it in the.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. It was in China, and a big scene in Shanghai. Again, I can't remember. And I visited Shanghai, and I
Nice.
saw which building he went to and from, and it was really cool. It was really, really neat.
So I saw Laura's post topic with a question mark. She's trying to get us. Now-
Monday. That's the topic.
Now,
Monday.
You know, Laura, that we always do a long preamble sometimes before we get into our topic.
So not an amble
Hey.
so much as a pre.
Let's put it to you this way. We're just putting the encore first, all right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
We're,
That's what we're doing.
we're doing the
We're putting the
encore.
encore first.
We're putting the cart before the
We're
horse.
putting the cart before. We're putting the encore before the meat, all right?
So, do you ever read the ingredients? And I heard this on a show this week that somebody had brought this up actually, and it was: do you ever read the ingredients on the back of the food that you are purchasing? Do you realize how much sugar is in the foods, even those foods that are supposed to be health foods? Do you eat the fresh foods or more processed foods? Was I think what the rest of that.
I thought when you were reading, you said, "Do you ever eat the ingredients?"
You ever eat the-
Well, of course I eat.
Yes.
the ingredients.
Next topic.
Yeah, but yeah, me.
Next topic.
Me and
By the
Bob's
way,
like,
Leslie Ann's learning from you. William comes on. Hello all. He was just
Yeah.
he's sorry I just got home. And then Leslie Ann says, "No commitment, William."
you know what's funny? Speaking about my work, my boss, like way back when, I only been working there for about 2 weeks, and I'm there, and I actually had some later work to do, which was unusual. And he's packing up and leaving. He goes, "Cliff, you got the key, right?" Because I was brand new, right?
Yeah.
You remember the code, right? I'm like, "Yeah, where you going?" He says, I gotta go, man. Daughter's Baba. I'm like, seriously? No commitment or dedication? I have to work. And that's like the first week I was there. So now that became a standard thing. It doesn't matter who's leaving. If I don't say it, he's like, seriously, Clippy? You got no commitment, man.
So he's standing by your office waiting for
I
you
know.
to say it. He's not leaving until you say it.
So this is spread.
So William kind of sheepishly says afterwards, I had to work late.
Have to work late. Hey, and
This man just slammed.
just slammed him. Man. Thanks, Leslie and William. It's about time you showed up. And look what Leslie Ann says. Can you put that online if chai is on?
Letting me know that my birthday present is delicious. Thank you.
That's
Okay.
right. Okay, chai. So if you're on, so
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen her on as of yet.
unbelievable.
No commitment.
What?
Literally no
When
commitment.
was Chai's, when was Leslie Ann's birthday?
20th of this past month.
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
Shut
Happy
the front
belated, Leslie Ann.
Shut the front
Or the back door, whichever door you're
door.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we did have a topic, and I only, as I said, brought that up because I heard it on a different show I happened to catch a little bit of this past week, and they were talking about how there is so much sugar in processed foods, and that including health foods. So people buying yogurt and stuff because they think it's healthy, but then if you actually look at how many grams of sugar
It's massive.
are in it, it's absolutely huge. So you might as well eat a piece of candy.
Mm.
So that's why I kind of brought that up. And the other kind of thing that brought into mind is we had talked about this quite a while ago is fasting.
Right.
And I know you fast, and I've done it a little bit, but I want to get back into it a little bit more. So I'm trying to figure out what is the best ways.
Right.
Some people will fast by meaning that at 8 o'clock at night they don't eat,
Right.
and they don't eat again until maybe 11 or noon the next day.
16 hours.
Or 16 hours, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that true? 16 hours?
Yeah, right.
But there's different ways. To Bill's point, some people fast 2 days a week,
Yeah.
and some people fast so it's all different kinds. Intermittent fasting, if you're new to fasting, intermittent fasting is the easiest and simplest way to do it.
Okay, so I have a question about this because I am new to this. Fasting at least 16 hours. Then
Mhm.
you're starving by the 16th hour point.
Believe it or not,
You
yeah.
binge.
Yeah, believe it or not,
Do
you're
you
not.
do you binge? You binge. You're gonna binge.
Believe it or not, Paul, you're actually not starving. That's
Is
the-
that
that's the
true,
one.
eh?
Paul, listen, it's simple biology.
Mm-hmm.
In I don't know, 12 seconds. What happens when you eat?
I can put the timer.
Simple biology, right? What happens when you eat? The body processes the food.
Yeah.
It can fill up all your muscles and everything else with
It
glycogen.
goes to energy or fat.
So once your body's full of all the glycogen and everything else that it needs,
Mm.
there's nowhere else for the stuff to go. It has
Correct.
to go to fat.
Right.
So what happens? The cycle of digestion is about 12 hours. Okay.
Okay.
So now, in about 12 hours, all the glycogen in your system is depleted. Now it needs food. Where's it going to get its food from?
Makes sense.
It has to get
From
it
the
from fat.
from the fat.
So what happens
Makes
is,
sense.
so let's say, for argument's sake, in the 4 hours after 12 to the 16, you're burning basically fat. So it's not like you're starving. You're not starving. You're just burning a different type of fuel. You're not
Mhm.
burning sugar. You're burning.
So I fast for 16 hours. What happens when after 16 hours I have an extra large pizza and a full chicken?
Well, you know what? You could do that.
That's because this is because
Good.
Cliff,
That's the mindset.
in my head, I'm thinking I'm not going to eat for 16 hours, which by the way, I'm close.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm close. I do not, I eat one meal a day, dinner-ish.
Yeah.
So right around 6
But
o'clock.
then what do you do the rest of the
Eats cookies here at the Bodley.
time? That's the problem.
Honest to God, before I said,
Paulie, I tell
I
you
am
what.
not going to last an hour.
I tell you what, if you want the fastest route
Yeah.
to benefits and weight loss,
Yeah.
if you combine 3 things, it's remarkable. Fasting, 16 hours.
Yeah.
Cut your carbs down to the lowest amount that you could possibly cut your carbs down to. In other words,
Yeah.
if you want to eat a pound of bacon at the end of the 16 hours,
Yeah.
do that instead of pasta.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh.
And then walk 30 minutes.
Well, that's where I'm at.
The pound of bacon or the walking?
Both.
No, but you have to, but you have to, it's not like exercise walk. I'm like, go out to the park and
Yeah.
right? So, but you'll be amazed at how fast that changes the metabolic rate, because it's all about changing the metabolic rate,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
So-
what fasting does. Fasting
okay.
changes your metabolic rate.
But hang on. Okay, so hang
Okay.
on a second. So, I think that the general consensus for many people is you eat small amounts very often.
That's bad.
Now, okay, that's okay. So before we get into that,
Yeah.
my understanding is you eat small amounts many times during the day. That is to keep up your metabolism. Okay, so that's the rumor. That's the so confirm or deny that for me.
Deny.
What could in
Yeah,
what way?
if you
Why?
know-
Why? Where's the what's the science?
It's the biology of the system. If you just go look a simple Google search, and this is what I tell people, because there's so many theories out there.
Mm.
Don't believe any theory. Don't believe what I'm saying.
Mm.
Figure out what the biology of the human is.
Mhm.
All right. What happens the moment you eat, Paul? What's the very first thing that happens? That if you eat that cookie right there, what do you think the first thing that happens is?
I eat another cookie.
No,
That's
hey,
really what
that's me.
happens.
No,
Really
what
what
no.
happens.
What happens is the body releases insulin,
Okay.
and the body can only assimilate that much. Talk to a diabetic, can only assimilate that much insulin
At a time.
At a time.
Correct.
Guess what happens now when the insulin stimulates the body and stimulates the process and all type of stuff, and you get that shot of insulin?
Mhm.
What happens if your body does not need the energy?
Then
It just
yeah,
goes to
then
here.
it stores. Then it stores it.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Well, unless you're eating one cookie every hour
Yeah.
or one cookie 6 times a day,
Yeah.
that's fine. Most people don't do that. Most people will eat 3 cookies and a little bit of pasta and a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Mhm.
And what happens is every single time you get an insulin shot,
Mhm.
that puts your body in mode of either store or use.
Right.
But if you don't have room for it, if
Mhm.
you're not using that,
Mhm.
then it's going directly to fatty liver.
Yeah, right.
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 So the fact of the matter is, if you don't get a jab of insulin,
Huh.
slowly the cycle and insulin depletes in your body in a slower mode, and now you get to insulin burning. Now you get to
Burnout,
fat
yeah,
burning,
yeah.
and now when the fat is burning, you're actually using that energy. There's only two ways. There's only 2 ways to fuel the body:
Mm.
sugar
Mhm.
and fat.
Mhm.
That's it. Not
Mhm.
protein,
Mhm.
not minerals,
Correct.
not vitamins, not any of that stuff.
Mhm.
2 ways:
Mhm.
sugar
Mhm.
and fat.
Mhm.
So you need to teach the body and or give the body ample opportunity to use fat as your fuel source
Mhm.
rather than sugar.
Mhm.
And the way to do that is to intermittent fast.
Leslie Ann just put this order up. So in this order: 1, never overeat; 2, fast 16 to 20 hours; 3, lowest possible carb consumption; 4, walk briskly for 30 minutes.
And if you
Excuse
do
me.
that, oh my God, I can't believe the results. It blows my mind.
And in capital letters, Leslie does put up, you will lose fat. So now during your fast, you drink water.
I drink water, yeah. Anything that doesn't have an insulin spike, anything that doesn't spike insulin,
Okay.
which is sugar.
Sugar.
So I drink carbonated water. I drink water. Hey man, if you want, you can drink whiskey. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
Yeah, but Leslie does that to quench
To
your
quench your
thirst.
thirst.
Busted.
So the fact of the matter is, anything that does not make the body create insulin. Okay.
Very interesting.
Anything that doesn't do that, and Paulie, like I said,
Mm.
don't listen to any theory. Don't listen to my theory. Don't listen to anybody's theory who
Mm.
says 6 meals a day or no meals a
Mm.
day. Don't listen to any of it.
Mm.
Just go and figure out, because we know science knows how the body works
Mm.
in biology. So look at the digestive cycle. Look at what biology is doing.
Mhm.
Look at what your body's doing
Mhm.
within the digestive cycle,
Right.
and you'll come to a very similar conclusion.
So I'm going to ask you this then. I'm
Shoot.
asking probably more so even for myself
Shoot.
on the education. So when you're done your fasting
Yeah.
and you talk about going to lowest possible carb, et cetera.
Yeah.
So what are you and Leslie Ann then eating? So you come out of
Yeah.
you come out of your fast. It's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever
Yeah.
the time is. What are you going to have?
There's a couple of things we do. First of all, I'll try and push my fast, because just a little sidebar. A hunger pang will disappear in seconds if you just give it a moment and have a little bit of water. with
That's
it.
true.
It disappears. Hunger
Water,
pangs
by the way.
disappear, right?
Water. Yep.
So what we normally do is we kind of prolong it. If you can prolong it, we'll have something that is not high in a glucose spike,
Mhm.
right? So I would have, I don't know, maybe a cream, heavy cream,
Mhm.
not 10%.
Mhm.
If you look at this, talk about labels.
Right.
I'll give you
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. That's,
Talking about labels. This is
Mm.
like right relevant.
Mm.
If you take homogenized milk or 1% or skim, let's say skim, people say, oh, skim milk is healthy for you. You look at the number of carbohydrates in a glass of skim milk.
Mm.
And then you take 35% table cream
Mm.
and go look at the amount of carbohydrates in that 35% table cream.
Mm.
Guess what is the lowest level of carbohydrates? It's the table cream,
Mhm.
because it's made of fat.
Mm.
Right.
right? So now what happens is we will have strawberries and cream, or strawberries and blueberries and cream,
So a heavy cream,
heavy cream,
with strawberries,
not
or
the mild stuff, and that'll be a good snack. And then for supper, I tell you what, sometimes I make meatloaf, and it's very low carb.
which we
meatloaf.
never got to
I
try.
never got to try.
I was just thinking exactly the
very,
same thing.
very low carb meatloaf, right?
Yeah.
And we'll have that with a side of steamed vegetables, or I fry up the vegetables, so a side of fried up vegetables.
Mhm.
So all I'm doing is I'm having what everybody else is having: meat, vegetables. I just don't have the starch. I just don't have the carbohydrates.
Right,
Mm.
right. Leslie Ann, again, high fat, low carb. I especially need the brain power of the protein.
Protein.
Mhm.
And I tell you what, the bottom line is, instead of, for instance, if you want to keep, like, we're not like rigid, you know.
Yeah.
So if I don't want potato, if I want low carb, but I still want that starchy kind of
Yeah,
feel,
Yeah.
turnips. Turnips are way lower in
Turnips,
carb.
What sweet potatoes?
Sweet
Actually,
potatoes are.
Sweet
I
potatoes-
love sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes lower, but it is still a
Love
high
sweet
So better
glycemic
go something
index.
like a tournament. A tournament.
Yeah.
A tournament. A tournament. We're
Tournament,
talking about
tournament.
So
A
what you do
tournament.
is you look at the
Turnip.
glycemic index of
Yeah.
anything, right? So pasta, massive glycemic index, right? People that they go to the gym and then they swig Gatorade.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
terrible. It's
Mhm.
like horrible. In one small bottle of Gatorade, there's 38 grams of carbohydrates.
Mhm,
That's crazy,
mhm.
right? So yeah,
So when you look
Well, I
at
don't
some
know
of
about
these,
y'all, but I just eat.
and I'm going to get back to the fasting here in a sec, but when you look at some of these, so Conor McDavid before every game eats pasta, chicken, and
Big difference.
potato or whatever that and that's what he eats before every
Dude,
single game.
big difference.
And of course, he's going to burn it off in the first 10 minutes
Oh,
of the game. Where apparently Wayne Gretzky ate like a burger and 2 chocolate bars
Yeah.
and something else
And a
before
couple
every,
of cigarettes.
before
Yeah.
every game, right?
When I was working out way back when I was young, this is no word of a lie, and this is no exaggeration. We used to make egg salad sandwiches,
Mhm.
and we would take 6 each.
Mhm.
Each.
Mm.
That's 12 slices of bread,
Mhm.
right? 6. And
Now,
oh,
is
man.
that white bread or whole wheat
Well,
bread?
yeah, no white bread. Like
Which is
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
And we'd go to the gym. Leslie and I'd be at the gym at 5 in the morning, and we gym 4 times a week, volleyball twice a week.
Mhm.
Believe, and we drank all the beer we wanted and ate
Mhm.
all the food. But I tell you what, I go to the gym, start my workout at 5 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, all the 6 sandwiches were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like at 10
Yeah.
o'clock, I'd be, what do I eat now?
Yeah.
So it's different, Bill.
Sure.
If you're using, like I said, the insulin spike, your body will use whatever glycogen goes into the system, whatever it needs, and the rest will go to fat.
Fat.
But if you're a Conor McDavid and you're skating and you're doing what he's doing, believe me, the depletion of the glycogen is instant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So nothing goes to fat. And not only that, his metabolic rate is like skyrocketing.
Oh, of course.
Our metabolic rate is like snail space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Of course. Well, Leslie Ann says when we were rigid, you were skinny.
Oh yeah.
And then she says egg salad and salmon sandwiches.
I tell you guys, we weren't even trying. But back in 2019, this is a long story, and I won't tell it to you. But in a sentence, back in 2019, I spoke to a doctor, just totally by accident. I met him, just a great dude, and he confirmed a few things that I was thinking at the time, some intuition that I had. He confirmed it, and so on a lark, I said, why don't we try this? And what we did was we went quite strict, almost no carbohydrates, straight up fat, 80% fat, 20% protein, maybe 90% protein, 1% fat, 1% sugar or carbohydrates. And we did that and then walked 30 minutes almost every day.
Mm.
I lost 26 pounds
Mhm.
without even a thought.
Mhm. Mhm.
There wasn't even a thought. Like we never even thought about it. I was not doing it for weight loss. I was doing it for a whole different reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I lost 26 pounds. Last time she never counted pounds, but she said she lost 3 belt sizes.
Wow.
And this is from the middle of May to the beginning of September.
Right. So when you're starting
Hmm.
your 16-hour fast, like what time do you start it and go to? Like,
Bill, the best thing is to realize that you have approximately 8 hours of sleep. You probably don't sleep 8 hours,
no.
but assume 7 hours, let's say, right?
Mhm.
So what happens is really all you're doing for the most part is skipping breakfast.
Right.
Essentially, that's
It's
what you're
true.
doing.
Very
Because
true.
for instance, Leslie and I, we kind of try to eat early, but it never happens, right?
Mhm.
So we end up eating late, 9, 10 o'clock, which is not good. But then you skip breakfast, skip lunch, and then now 2 o'clock we can snack and or eat. But then we're busy at work. So sometimes, Leslie and the other day had almost 20 hours,
Mhm.
right? Because you got busy at work. So what, like for a guy like you, what average time would you go to bed?
Usually we average around, sometimes as early as 9, but most times 10, 10:30.
Okay, so assume 9. So what do you eat, let's say at 6?
We would probably eat dinner. We try and eat dinner around 5:30.
Okay, so perfect then, right? So 5:30-ish. Now, all you gotta do, I mean, you're full anyway. You're not gonna be hungry. So skip the snack.
Yeah.
Don't even do strawberries and cream or nothing. When you finish at 5:30, just for argument's sake, look how easy this is. You finish at 5:30, skip the snack because you don't need to snack. You're full.
Mhm.
So you go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
What time do you get up? For argument's sake, you go to sleep at 10 o'clock. Let's say you get up at 5.
Yeah, I'm usually up at most mornings by 6 a.m. at the
Right. So you don't drink
That's already
coffee.
8 hours.
You don't
I don't drink
that's already 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
You don't drink coffee, but me, I would be drinking black coffee. If you drink tea, drink tea that doesn't have carbohydrates in it.
Right.
And then, so 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. So you can actually eat at 10:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you've got your 16 hours in.
Wow.
Right? So Leslie and I, because we always end up late, so if we finish eating at 9 o'clock, well, now 1 o'clock the next day becomes our thing. Well, guess what? Skipping breakfast is nothing for me. I'll have 3 cups of black coffee that has no
And
carbohydrates.
there are mornings I don't eat breakfast. Some days I do. I might eat an oatmeal.
You know, it's kind of funny when you do the math.
It's so easy, Paulie.
I fast 16 hours a day every single day, and I've done it for the past God knows how long.
Okay, Paulie, but now all you got to do is eliminate the snackage in between. Because chances
But I
are-
don't.
No, but if you have 2 cookies, you've broken your fast. If you have 1 cookie, you've broken your fast. Anything more than 50 calories will break your fast.
Oh, well, that's it. I quit, guys. I'm sorry. I can't be here Monday nights anymore. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Cultivate.
I'm sorry. I cannot come here anything. I'm sorry.
Look at this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a little over the middle of the podcast. Sorry.
Laura says if I cut chips again, I might lose some weight. LOL.
Oh, Leslie and me with chips, man. That's kind of a weakness.
So again, I'd be curious. You don't have to do this right now, but maybe off air or something. So again, I'd be curious in some of the things that you would eat, like you're recommending heavy cream. You know, with strawberries as a snack or those kind of things, like the kind of things that you are eating. High fat.
A simple dinner idea.
Yeah.
Right. Chicken thighs with the actual skin and bone and everything. They're the best flavor.
So skin, everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything. So what I do is I take the chicken thighs, toss it in a bowl with whatever spices you want. I don't care what it is. A little bit of oregano, a little bit of pepper,
I'm
cayenne,
hungry here.
whatever. Right. So you toss it in a bowl.
I got a couple of cookies here for you.
You toss it in a bowl,
Yeah.
and then you take low glycemic vegetables. Right. So let's say turnips.
Right.
Zucchini.
Okay.
Radishes. Oh, radishes are fantastic. Red radishes, they're fantastic.
Mhm.
Very beautiful minerals and vitamins and everything else. Very low glycemic index.
Mhm.
So do a little Google search. I don't want to name them all now.
Of course.
And what I normally do is then I take the chicken out, put these vegetables in, toss it in whatever, and then put the vegetables down, put the chicken on top, jab a bunch of holes in the top with a fork, add whatever little bit spices on top. Put a couple of teaspoons of barbecue sauce.
Right.
Tin foil in the oven. 45 minutes, you have this beautiful keto meal.
Right.
It's high fat. It's so satisfying.
So you're eating the skin on the chicken and
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And Paulie, the reason why you don't get hungry, because the fat, again, it's biology, right? What happens is if you eat high fructose food, it goes through the system, boom, just like that, and it's done.
Yeah, that's what you call it sugar high. It's a sugar high.
But fat, guess what? Fat takes longer to
Yes.
go through the digestive system.
Yes.
So if you eat a high fat diet, you're not hungry,
Mhm.
right? Because first of all, it takes that long for it to go through your digestive system.
Yeah.
And then after that, if you're fasting for the 16 hours, now you're using stored fat along with it.
Right.
It's such a biological, it makes
Okay.
such biological sense.
So then let me just play devil's advocate here. Your body is different than my body, and my body is different than Bill's body. And my parents are 76 years old, and I am 48.
Yeah.
Our bodies, a body, and it all works the same way.
The digestive system, the digestive process is the same. The metabolic rate is different.
Is different. That's where I'm going with this.
But
That's where I'm going.
the digestive process
Right.
is the same.
Well, sure.
So the fact of the matter
You
is,
eat you. Yeah.
it might take you 10 hours to go through the cycle because your metabolic rate is higher.
Yeah.
So now if you go to 16-hour fast, you're getting 2 extra hours of fat burn,
Pepperoni.
right? On the other hand, your parents, who let's say are way older, and then so their metabolic rate might be lower, not necessarily, but they may be lower,
Marginally older. I love you, mom and dad.
right? So then they would still fast the 16 hours, but they'd only have maybe 4 hours of that, right?
Mhm.
But the biological process of digestion is the same,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? So I'm very concerned, Bill, along with the fat, that I get the fiber, right? Because
Right.
a lot of the times, whole wheat pasta and all has fiber. So I'm a little bit concerned that I make sure I get that.
Right.
Well, first of all, if I'm eating strawberries and cream for dessert, well, there's some great fiber there.
Yeah.
But then also in the vegetables that you choose, radishes are awesome, right?
I love radish.
Right. So then you have all
So
of
good.
these vegetables, and of
Yeah.
course, I cook everything, right? Skin
Mhm.
and all. I mean, people peel zucchini. I don't know why they would do that.
I never take skin off vegetables,
Right.
actually. Yeah.
Me neither. So zucchini and like I said, you can just Google low glycemic vegetables,
Mhm.
and I put a bed of vegetables down, and then I put this chicken on top,
And
and-
you bake it.
and then I bake it in the oven, 45 minutes, whatever, 160, so it's nice and
Mhm.
soft, right? Tender. Now it's a one dish meal.
Mhm.
So let's say I take a bowl
Mhm.
or a plate, grab the chicken, grab the vegetables. What am I missing? What am I missing from every other Canadian diet? Nothing.
Yeah.
Just that
Maple syrup?
potato.
And you don't maple syrup. And you
You know
don't.
what I mean? Just the
Yeah.
starch.
Yeah. So and again, so with this on this particular chicken dish, you're not doing anything to the chicken really ahead of time. You're
You
not
can marinate
pre-
if you want, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not browning anything. You're
Nothing.
just putting it right in on top of the veggies and away you
Yeah,
go.
and cover it up. And what I sometimes do is I'll cook it, let's say on 400 for whatever 40 minutes, whatever it is, to get it to 160.
Yeah.
Then I'll take the tinfoil off, put the broiler on for like 5 minutes,
Brown up and
Right.
crisp up that skin.
crispy that skin on top,
Nice.
right? And I tell you what, all the fat and the tasty, all the because you tossed it in spices, all the fat that's coming off the chicken
Is
is
in
now
the
going into the
veggies.
vegetables.
Nice.
And it's fantastic and it's so satisfying. So what ends up happening is you end up eating less because it's so satisfying.
Right. And Leslie Ann
Right.
says chicken on top or maybe sausage.
Oh, I make sausages on top of the vegetables. Oh man, Italian sausages on top of the vegetables. Don't
Italian
pierce.
sausages and asparagus.
Don't
Mm,
pierce.
yummy.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Asparagus is beautiful.
Yummy.
Don't pierce the sausages because you want
Yummy.
the fat to remain.
Yeah.
So what you do is you put it over top, you let it cook. And what I like to do is, I always let food sit stand time. It's always the stand time. Oh man, if you go over there and just jab the sausages a little bit
Right.
for that stand
Which
time,
is before time to serve.
yeah, and then oh man, it's so good, you guys. And the fact of the matter is, you will not eat as much because it
Right.
is so satisfying. You'll eat too much the first time,
Yeah.
second time, third time, but pretty soon you'll start to learn that I don't need that much food because it's so satisfying, right?
Yeah.
Especially in winter. Oh man, you get a dish like that in winter when you come home cold and frozen and everything else. I used to get it ready and tell Leslie, I'm on my way. Can you put it in the oven?
Yeah.
Or she would be at work.
Get it ready, set it in the fridge, pull it out. and
Or
put
she
it
would
in
be
the
at work and say, honey, I'm on my way. And I'll chuck it in the oven. And boom, let me tell you, it's so satisfying and so delicious in winter,
Mhm.
right? And it's good for you.
Yeah. That's something. No, definitely.
Sorry, I get a little excited when I'm talking about this stuff,
No,
but it's so interesting.
It is. It's very interesting, and that's why I said I've kind of tried it a little bit in the past, but I haven't really gone full out. And I'm starting to think again. I'd really like to kind of go
To go,
full
yeah.
out with it and get back. Like I do the treadmill.
Right.
I get back
Oh,
on. I
yeah.
do it like even if I do it in the morning, I usually do about a 35-40 minute treadmill walk on a high
Bill,
incline.
if you add what you
Uh,
just said
Yeah.
to this diet and you keep that 30-minute walk on the treadmill incline,
Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, you will see results that would blow you away.
Could I do the same thing?
Yep.
With pizza pops?
Probably not.
So not only I would lose weight, but one thing we've talked about, you would lose a pound, which I would love to lose
Yeah.
the weight. But you get taller.
No, unfortunately not.
What? So I definitely would lose weight, which is exciting, and definitely want to do that.
But
I'm
Bill,
not
it's
gonna get
not
taller.
so much about the
Sprinkle a little chia and hemp
but-
seeds on your head and
Hey,
put some
By the
water
way,
or what?
by the way, in that same recipe, speaking about chia and hemp seeds, I always splatter a bunch of chia
I
and
just
hemp
bought
seeds on top.
I just bought some.
Chia seeds are so good for you, Polly.
Oh, they're
Um,
amazing.
And,
Amazing.
chia seeds, if anybody doesn't know, chia, hemp hearts, if anybody doesn't
Hemp,
know,
yeah.
is a full protein. It's
Correct.
one of the few complete proteins out
Complete
there.
protein.
It's one
Very
of the
big
few-
difference.
One of
Yes.
the few out there.
Yes. Funny that you say that. My kids, almost 10 and 11, and I were into smoothies the last week.
Oh,
Now
nice.
we were years ago, got out of it.
But-
We're back into it.
But
now.
some smoothies you have to be careful
Oh,
with, right? Because there's a lot of
tons of
sugar.
So okay,
Gargantuan
so
amounts of sugar.
now we put yogurt in our smoothie.
Which kind of
Which can have sugar.
Well, guaranteed it does, right? But all things considered, my kids are 9 and 11. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it a little bit fun for
Of
them,
course,
right?
yeah.
So normally, yes, if it was just me, I would not put. I would put like 0% Balkan is what I would do. Right.
Don't do that.
But-
Get high fat yogurt.
But
It's a whole
what?
different way of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
So what we do is we do yogurt, we do skim milk, we do chia and hemp seeds, we do frozen fruit, and we do 2 eggs.
Nice.
We do
So,
2 eggs.
so Polly, what you can do is slowly
think that's
to wean your kids off the sugar,
Mhm.
get them to like the taste of fruit, because then you won't need the sugar. If you get
True.
nice, boy, I bought some blueberries, the big fat ones. I always call them. I like the
True.
big fat ones.
Mhm.
They're so sweet,
Mhm.
right? So I love sweet, man. I'm a sugar addict.
Yummy.
So I take strawberries and blueberries, and I put sugar over top. Then I put the cream on.
Yeah.
Take away the cream. Take away the sugar.
Sure.
And it's so sweet
Just
and
the
nice,
cream and yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Polly,
Excuse me.
high fat yogurt.
Yeah.
I challenge you to do this.
Mm.
Take your skim milk.
Mm.
On the way home tonight, buy yourself a 35% table cream.
Mm.
Okay, now go home. We're talking about reading the label,
Mhm.
and take your skim milk and see how much carbohydrates are in there.
Okay,
And
because I exclusively drink skim milk, so I can do that at home.
Right. So
I do.
then,
I do.
buy the
I'll do that at
cream
home.
and see what it says for carbohydrates
Yeah,
in the cream,
yeah.
and you'll see it's like 1 gram of carbohydrate per tablespoon of cream.
Mm.
Okay, which is nothing. Like
Mm.
that's nothing.
Yeah, no.
So how much of the heavy cream? Say you have a bowl of strawberries. So how big of a bowl of strawberries? How many strawberries do you kind of cut up, and how much cream?
But this much, so I don't know, maybe say 5 strawberries, 4 strawberries, 5 strawberries,
Cut up. And
cut
then
up, and then a handful of blueberries,
Right.
and probably a quarter cup, half cup
Or
of cream.
a cup of
Yeah.
cream on top of
So then, if you're doing a smoothie, by the way, yes, well, of course they'd be
Laura's
2 raw eggs, Laura. Yeah, of course they would be.
Yeah.
They would, of course, be. Then you put I put the yogurt in for the for the smoothie consistency. Consistency. If I'm not to put the yogurt in,
Mhm.
what would I substitute it with to get that smoothie consistency?
Oh, well, you could use heavy table cream, or you could use yogurt.
So that heavy table
Yeah.
cream would give me that.
Yeah, the
okay,
problem,
all right.
Polly,
All right.
with yogurt is most people they don't buy plain yogurt. What they do,
Correct.
is they buy low fat yogurt and they think they're doing themselves a justice.
Mhm.
I hate to break it to anybody, but
No.
you're not, because fat
Yeah.
is not the enemy. It's the sugar that's the enemy.
Sugar
Now-
is the big enemy. Yeah.
Let me caveat this by saying, have you ever tried plain yogurt?
Yep.
Yuck.
Not with fruit.
Okay, no, I know that, but just
Actually,
plain yogurt,
I love plain yogurt.
not cool.
But Polly,
Not cool.
you have to acclimate your taste buds to this. I mean, you didn't like cheese when you were young. You probably like cheese now. You didn't like beer when you were young. You probably like beer now.
Well, no, that's not me.
You like beer when you were young?
I did, as a matter of fact. I actually did. You know how the parents always give a sip under the table at
Dude, we had
family
we had
parties
beer,
and stuff like
we,
that.
We had beer at our table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
grew up English, so we
Yeah.
had beer at our table.
Leslie Ann says you guys need to move your studio to that magnificent kitchen downstairs. You're talking in my house, and let Cliff cook for you. There you go.
I'll make you guys that chicken and,
I would love to try that.
and whatnot, right? I'll
Yeah.
make it.
Now, funny thing, before we came on air, we were actually downstairs chatting with my wife Chai, and she was eating yogurt and
And
strawberries
berries.
with chia
Leslie's favorite.
seeds on, but she was using yogurt, so that would have actually been better for her to have had the
Flavored
cream
yogurt.
on. She
No,
had
that's what I
vanilla
do.
yogurt on there.
Yeah, so that would have sugar. That would have high
Yeah,
fructose,
high
right?
sugar content.
So plain yogurt, and I tell you what, Leslie Ann is the one that helped me develop a taste for it.
Mm.
I didn't like it. What the hell is this stuff?
No.
Turns
Yeah.
out I really like it after a while. You
Oh,
eat
yeah.
it a couple times and you it's like black coffee.
Yeah.
Up until 2 years ago, I drank
Yeah.
two sugar and cream.
Yeah.
And Laura agrees with Leslie. She wants you to, go downstairs and cook.
You know what's really good, you guys? You know what's really good? And I love this. I love this. I love this. Cottage cheese and
Wow.
fruit.
Dude,
Cottage cheese and
I
fruit.
love cottage
Holy
cheese. actually.
So good.
Polly, Bill,
Oh.
go look at the label.
So good.
Polly, go look at the label for cottage cheese. It's fantastic.
I know it's
Yeah.
delicious. It's
No,
delicious.
but I mean it's fantastic in the context of what I'm
For
saying.
you. Yes.
Yes.
For you. Yes.
I love
Yeah.
just a plain bowl of cottage cheese I can eat. I don't
Oh,
even need anything in it.
it's so
I love
good.
Just a bowl of cottage
I
cheese.
love it. And I tell you what, cottage cheese is beautiful when you're talking about low glycemic index.
Mm.
It's fantastic for you.
It's a great
It's got-
snack or a
It's
low
a great
blood-
snack.
Yeah.
It's very very comforting food.
Yes.
And I tell you what, it is so good. You can add that to any keto diet.
It's too bad I had that jumbo donair before coming in.
See,
Just-
Polly,
just
hey,
saying.
dude, if you just take away the cover of that doner and just eat the meat,
Yeah.
boom, chagalaka.
Damn good meat.
It's beautiful.
damn good meat.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah, I love cottage cheese. But yeah, I would love to get some of the recipes that you and Leslie Ann have been
Bill,
using. And
honestly, if you start doing it in a heartbeat, because I just put shit together like you do. I put stuff together. But hey, that's what we should do. We should plan a dinner. We'll work on it together. We'll
should do
do everything, and we'll stick it in the oven and sit down, have a glass of wine, and chow down.
yeah, that's a great. Leslie Ann says cottage cheese, high carb, and mandarin oranges.
Oh, do you remember when they used to make orange yogurt?
I do.
I used to love that. They don't make it anymore.
Yeah.
Yummy stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I love cottage.
Yeah,
cheese.
cottage cheese is very good for you. Plain yogurt is very good for you. And like I said, even the fruit, right? Bear in mind, fruit has high fructose. That's where sugar comes
Correct.
from.
Yes.
So make sure
Correct.
you temper. I
Right.
mean, if you've had this beautiful day full of very high fat, good protein, no carbohydrates, now at the night before bedtime, you're going, hey, some strawberries and some cream.
Game
right?
on.
Game on, right? So, but if you've had, I mean, Leslie and I was, like the other day, we ordered a pizza. I mean, that's as high carb as you can get.
Yes.
Well, guess what? We definitely forego our dessert,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because hey, we had
Of course. No, I think that's a good idea. We'll have to plan that out
Yeah.
and do that. Do the dinner thing.
I'll bring the pizza pops.
There we go.
As
There we go.
long as you got a microwave.
But the thing is, you got all these things, right? You got spinach, you got Swiss chard, you got all these things. And
Yes.
sometimes what I'll do, oh man, I tell you, you know what I just said about all that stuff? If you put a bed of spinach down first, then put the vegetables, then put the chicken.
For a smoothie, I'll do you one better.
that?
Kale.
You like kale?
So I love kale by itself anyways.
Cool.
A little bit of a strong taste.
Yeah.
But I love kale anyways. Kale smoothies and fruit,
Yeah.
amazing.
See,
So good. So good.
The only, like I said, the only problem with the smoothies, the only problem with a lot of these energy drinks and all that type of stuff, it's just massive glycemic index, right?
Right.
So these people that drink a morning smoothie and they think they're doing themselves good,
Mm.
again, it's the paradigm shift, right? Because we've been taught that fat is the enemy.
Yeah.
Fat is not
correct.
the enemy.
Correct.
Fat is literally not the enemy, and it's
Correct.
been debunked by God knows how many studies. It's been debunked.
Yeah.
So we've been taught that though. So people say like for years, it's like cornflakes, it's like 0% fat, no fat. Meanwhile, it's got like 1,000 pounds of goddamn sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same when they talked about, you look at, I'm going to have granola for breakfast tomorrow. So I go buy a bag of granola because it's so healthy.
Look
but
at
then
the
you look
little-
on the back,
Yummy.
it's so much sugar in that
24%
granola.
sugar.
Crazy. It's
Like-
crazy. Right?
Yeah.
And oats is very good for you. The problem is it's got high carbohydrate content.
Yeah.
Right. So
So do almonds.
but once you start, people that drink almond milk, oh my god, it's terrible. Like
I don't mind it, but
no,
it's
no,
really
no,
sweet.
Totally, I don't mind it. What I'm
Mm.
saying is, can you imagine how many almonds it takes to make 1 cup of milk?
Wow.
That's
So
a
get-
lot of
so-
milking almonds.
No, so just imagine though. I know it's funny, right? But just imagine though, if you came home and said, "I'm going to eat all these almonds."
Yeah.
First of all, anybody looking at it goes like, "What are you, some sort of a glutton, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how can I eat this many almonds?"
Yeah.
But then you take a cup of milk that distilled those almonds, and you'll drink it. And most of the time, guess what? The distilling of those almonds comes from what? Blanched almonds.
Right.
The skin, which has 1,000%
It's
of
off.
the nutrients,
It's gone.
is not on there.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, these things, like it's a matter of having this paradigm shift on how we're thinking, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Leslie,
Yes.
can I come for that episode? I didn't use that idea. Question. Well, of course, Leslie Ann, you can, be part of this. And if Cliff is going to cook this for us, we'll be happy to be there.
What
Yeah,
is a good
exactly.
yogurt to put in those fiber buds?
And Leslie Ann,
Plain yogurt.
we'll have to bring some of that nice red wine, which is, really keto friendly.
Yeah.
And we'll get Chai toasted.
Grapes are healthy.
before she eats.
Grapes are healthy.
Grapes?
Grapes are healthy. Well, wine. Grapes.
Grapes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yogurt, I tell you what Leslie and I prefer, and it's sometimes difficult for people to get a taste for it, but it's plain yogurt,
Mhm.
high fat, right? So Olympia makes a really good yogurt that's plain yogurt, high fat. And the other thing to look for, guys, especially if you're doing yogurt, is look for the proactive bacteria in there.
Probiotic.
Probiotic bacteria in there. In good yogurt, there should be four different types of bacteria. That's very hard to find. But there's also this thing called Oh, I lost. I lost. I'll tell you about it after. It's a fermented milk, and it's fermented. It's fermented from a seed. I can't think of the name, Leslie. If you think about it for a moment, just tell me. But you can get that. It tastes kind of like plain yogurt, but it has the 4 different kefir. It's called kefir. There you go. Sorry.
Oh, kefir. Yeah. I
Okay.
always wondered what that was in the grocery store.
Okay, so what it is a fermented. It's a nut seed fermented, and then they use goat milk in the east or in the west.
Right.
They use other milk,
Okay.
and that
That's
fermentation. Thanks, love. That fermentation process is fantastic for you. And it's got 4 different. If you look at the label, it's got 4 different probiotics in there, which are fantastic for gut health.
What's it taste like?
It tastes kind of like plain yogurt,
Just
Oh,
gonna
nice.
but it's delicious. It's really like it's so refreshing. It's so nice.
Yeah. And by the way, Leslie Ann says you're exaggerating. Wine is absolutely not keto friendly.
Okay, well, let's get into all the matter of definition.
Yes, but it is behavior friendly, especially on a Friday night.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
There's a lot of grapes in there. I mean, and fruit's good for you.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
Or we can just drink straight whiskey to quench your thirst.
Leslie Ann is good at that.
Again.
I don't have to bring. What's in that water bottle as you're downing there,
Downing
Leslie
there,
Ann? Because you're
that's
so thirsty. Yeah.
But you guys,
Thirsty
I'm
with-
telling you,
No, I
with this stuff,
yeah.
it's and I reiterate to anybody listening, and I certainly reiterate to you guys, do not 100% do not listen to me. Just if you and don't listen to anybody else.
What did you just say to me?
I know. Pardon me. Just go and Google how the digestive system works and when does insulin get released into the body.
Mhm.
And just do that and forget about all the diets and everything else, and you will come to a conclusion all on your own how the body works.
Mhm.
Because that's what I started with. I didn't start with, I think I'm going to go on keto diet, or I think I'm going to do this.
Mhm.
That doctor friend that I told you about, he's such a great dude. That's what he says to me. He says to me, Cliff, he says it's biology. It doesn't have anything to do with diets. It doesn't have anything to do with this, nothing to do with that. Like, I don't care about it, right? It's about how the system works. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I kind of like that. So then I went and did some reading and all that type of stuff because I don't know anything about biology, but it was so interesting to read. And I'm like, oh, well, how come I didn't know this? How come school
Yeah.
didn't teach me this?
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to actually doing that. We'll discuss that further. And you're welcome, Leslie Ann. And Cliff, we're down to like about a minute and a half.
Oh my God, look at this episode. The moment you start talking about food, I get excited because I love
Yeah.
food. I'm a foodie person. I
Yeah.
love food.
I do as well.
Thank you for joining us, you guys. I obviously we missed a lot of comments between everybody, but I hope you stayed listening and I hope you stayed engaged. And Leslie, thanks for all the enlightening stuff, and Laura and everybody for all the questions. We really appreciate you guys being here. Must Listen Monday is no fun without you guys. So I speak on behalf of all 3 of us when I tell you that we really, truly appreciate you being here. And I hope this particular episode excited you a little bit because we like food.
I'm excited.
And it gets me going, to be honest with you. I love food. So I hope this was a little bit interesting for you guys. And if you need any information, hey, I'd be happy to point you in directions and all that type of jazz. But thank you for being here. And if you happen to be not listening to live, I don't know why you would.
SoundSugarRadio.com. Friday nights you can listen to the audio portion at 10 o'clock. And or, of course, you can go back to our YouTube channel and rewatch it there. Watch the replay along with the comments if there's comments you wanted to see. And you can we still want subscribers. So get your friends and family and whomever. It doesn't take anything to click subscribe.
Right. And look, now we're a food channel.
And now we're talking food. We do everything on this podcast, so we can do it all for sure.
And if I may say, just a disclaimer, when you milk your almonds, make sure you're hitting the pail.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And you need to wear gloves.
I'm
That's the other thing.
just saying.
So, alrighty, everybody, we'll be back.
Pasteurize them almond milk, guys. Pasteurize them almond milk.
We'll be back next week with episode 158. Everybody, see you all next week.
Stay happy.
Bye, guys.
For a whole different reason.